Please welcome Lynds.
Actually, I was helping a guy do a couple of exercises, and I noticed that some common mistakes, even with high-level athletes, when it comes to bodybuilding, is they're not presetting, or what I like to call it, not priming to get into the exercise. They're just kind of gripping and ripping kind of thing. So when someone does like a squat or a deadlift, they're doing this, but they always preset their body to get in. So with a deadlift, they're doing the roll and they're like cocking the chest and everything's nice and tight. But when it comes to the bicep, they're not thinking, maybe I should get in that right spot. Maybe I should feel it before I start the rep. It shouldn't matter what muscle you're training. You should always, I like to call it priming the muscle, but presetting the body in the proper spot or the proper position before you even start the rep. So rep 1, you should be in the right position instead of just getting a dumbbell and just going at it. So make sure that you prime your body. So not to the dumbbell curl, you can stand with dumbbells at a neutral spot, you can stand with them like this, but they just kind of hang there, and it's kind of like a rocking motion. So you see, like I start with like a kind of like a swing, where you're coming up and you're letting the weight control the movement. But one thing I am not is I'm letting my elbow, sticking my elbow where it's at. It's not coming back. It's another concept that a lot of people kind of misjudge because they're worried about getting it up there and flexing it. Controlling the weight and the way down is just as important as controlling the way up. So not controlling the bicep curl on the way down, you're missing out on half the rep. So think about it this way. You want as much stress on the bicep through the full range. So if I just do this and flex and let it go, I'm missing 50% of the range. So 50% of that whole time that I should be contracting, I'm not. So you want contractions from up here all the way down, all the way up and all the way down. So that is paramount with every exercise. Control the weight up and down, up and down. So it doesn't matter what muscle it is. Same as I said earlier, it's priming the muscle, getting the muscle preset in your body. Good position, and then it's control the weight from front to back. Partials is keeping the stress on the muscle. You go into complete failure. So instead of just kind of, oh, I'm at 6, that's it. You're going beyond where you want to go. So when it starts to get hard and you start to get a little dirty with it, instead of cheating and really swinging it and really getting into it, then you stiffen up your body and do some partials. You're keeping the motion going, you're keeping the blood flow, you're keeping the stress in the muscle, but you're only doing part of the rep. So my thing is, if you're going to do partials, stay tight. Everything stays tight and you stay in the form. You're just doing the lower half of the rep. You're going from full range to partials at the end. Instead of getting that full swing and bringing my shoulders into it. I'm not here to do shoulders today, I'm here to do biceps. So a conventional rope push down, a lot of people when they get into this, they just kind of stand here, they stand upright. So big thing is, like I mentioned on the bicep day, is you want to prime the body. You want to get in there, get in that proper position, everything kind of sticks. So then you're going to push down and pull this apart on the way down. Pause for the flex at the end. Tricep consists of 3 major muscles, but the big ones that you see are the outer head, which is when you're doing a downward. You kind of see this arc on the outside, but the real girth of your tricep is the long head, the big hanging, the bingo fucking arms that the old ladies like to call them. That's where you want the size. So those are always the overhead long motion exercises. So if you're missing that underneath, concentrate on overheads. Overheads, and I'll show you the cross bodies a little bit later, which really kind of gets it in the spot. If you're lacking on the out, so if you're a bodybuilder and you're coming up and you just don't have that bump there, then you're gonna do stuff like this. You're gonna stuff like the rope push downs, the V-bar push downs. That's gonna hit your outer tricep. So it's not just one exercise, it's a combination. So instead of looking at it one way, look at the tricep as a whole area. I need to do this exercise for the out. I need to do overhead for the long. So if you look at it that way, it's an overall growth instead of one or two things. A lot of common mistakes are people are more pumping the weight. They're not controlling the weight. So
what I do is I go the widest one.
A lot of exercise when it comes to, like realistically, if you think about it, the arms are a secondary muscle. They help with chest, they help with back, they help with shoulders. They're a muscle that we use all the time. Calves are another one. So you're gonna sit here and just kind of up and down, or do a bicep and just kind of swing it. You're not really utilizing the muscle the way it's supposed to be used. So you can do full range, full stretch, full squeeze. Really control the weight. Don't let the weight control you. So you're coming down and you're feeling that flex. When you're coming up, you're feeling the stretch. So it's a motion all the way through the range that you're feeling every inch or every little nuance of the exercise. If you don't feel it, like I mentioned before in my other training days, if you're not feeling it, there's no point in doing it. You're doing something wrong. So you gotta adjust your body, adjust the angle, adjust your form. Get someone with an educated eye to look at you, tell you, okay, that was not in the right spot, or this has to be adjusted. Because usually it's a small little fix or a small little issue that you need to fix, kind of make it work for you. So sometimes you need that educated eye to take a look at your form and adjust. It's usually, it helps, so definitely look at it. When you get to arm day, if you're doing your arms on themselves, or if you're doing like a push day or a pull day, usually your arms at the end of your exercises. So you're already exhausted in your chest, you're already exhausted in your shoulders. Or you get to arm day, it's at the end of the week and they're already exhausted. So don't try to go for like super heavy. Try to go for feel and getting as much blood into those muscles as you can. Think of it as like a pump day. You're chasing. I know it's one of those sayings, but you're kind of chasing the pump. So you're getting the blood in there, you're getting the activation, you're feeling reps all the way through. But the main priority is you're not getting, like you're not tearing into the tendons, or you're not creating tendonitis, you're not creating any more inflammation, because you already beat the shit out of them in the other days. Because if you think about it, it's at the end of your push day or back day. You've already used them during that day. So you're more so just working an already pumped muscle. So you gotta do things to kind of get more blood in there and get more motion in there. So going all the way to failure, but again, keeping it nice and tight, is making that muscle work beyond where it wants to work. So that's the best kind of analogy that I can make it kind of not too complex. You gotta think about it throughout the whole range and throughout the whole exercises. Where do I want to feel this? And how do I want to feel it from point A to point B? So it comes back to my 3 pillars of exercises. So knowing the anatomy, knowing the exercises that you're doing, how it's going to affect the muscle, and then are you feeling it? Are you feeling it where you want to feel it? So you gotta remember all those 3 key points. If you don't, you're not really benefiting yourself. You're just moving weight. And that's not what I consider lifting. It's just moving weight.